Hi, welcome to another episode of AWS Cloud Adventure. I'm Gigi and I'm an account manager at Amazon Web Services. In this episode, we are going to talk about Wallester's cloud journey on AWS, and we are going to touch on security and compliance with Julian Brand, CEO at Wallester UK. Julian, thank you so much for joining us today.
Gigi, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to be at AWS in Sweden.
Can you introduce us to Wallester?
So Wallester is a fintech organization. We provide innovative payment solutions via a proprietary technology platform that's cloud native. We operate in 3 countries. Our foundation is in Estonia, but we now have offices in France and also most recently in the UK. We focus on doing what we do really well, and we do 2 things. We have 2 core products. The first product that we have is called Wallester Business, and this is a highly effective business expense management tool where companies can use our cards to make their payments, to understand their expenses and control their costs. And secondly, we have Wallester White Label. Wallester White Label is a turnkey solution where we work with a diverse range of partners. Some of these are banks, insurance companies, non-financial organizations, many different types of companies. And using our turnkey solution via a single REST API, they can integrate with Wallester and within 4 weeks start to issue Visa cards branded in their own name to their customers, thereby enhancing their proposition, but without having to do any of the heavy lifting of card issuing. With those 2 products, we've now achieved 31 partnerships and 3,000 or over 3,000 corporate companies using our Wallester Business solution. And we're proud to say that we almost have 1 million active cards. Not quite 1 million yet, but almost 1 million.
Today, Wallester runs fully on Amazon Web Services. Why did you decide to go for a cloud approach? Why did you choose AWS?
Yeah, that's a great question, Gigi. When we started, we wanted to go to market quickly. Our platform was going to be central to being able to launch our business, but we needed secure, scalable, and compliant infrastructure. So, of course, we could have tried to build all of that ourselves, but to build an in-house data center is expensive, it's complicated. We would have to invest very heavily upfront to build that infrastructure, but just as importantly, we would have had to continue to invest and bear the cost to maintain that infrastructure. We were fortunate that within our IT team, we had a number of experts that had built on cloud before, and also a number that had worked with AWS before and had a really positive experience. As well as that, what we wanted to do was work with a partner that had a tried and tested solution that was already working with a number of very large global organizations. So we decided to work with AWS. As I say, it wasn't such a difficult decision. In some ways, we see parallels with our white label solution because both of them are very much turnkey solutions where we take away all the difficult stuff from our clients, and clients can ask themselves, why would we do this ourselves when someone else we can trust to do it better, quicker, and cheaper? That's what we see in AWS, and we think that's what our partners see in us for our white label solution. So now we've been up and running for a number of years. We are in the top 5 of Visa enablers. So these are the companies within Europe that Visa recommend other companies to work with when they want to launch a Visa program. And as I said before, the scalability that the technology and the infrastructure has given us has meant that we can seamlessly grow to the point where we now have almost 1 million cards, active cards in operation.
I love the analogy with AWS. Wallester operates in a highly regulated industry. How AWS helped Wallester being compliant?
Yeah, you're right. Financial services companies, we absolutely operate in a highly regulated environment. It's absolutely essential that we're compliant in every way, including our infrastructure. The cost of doing that internally is really high. You have to invest in expertise, you have to invest in processes, you have to invest in external audits on an ongoing basis. And it's quite a heavy cost to bear, particularly in a startup organization. But by working with AWS, we had the benefit that the solution already is aligned with, if I remember correctly, 143 security standards and certifications, including PCIDSS. PCIDSS is the payment card industry data security standard. It's the thing that's the fundamental prerequisite for any card issuer. So because we worked with AWS, we were one of the first PCIDSS certified companies in Estonia. And actually, we were the first company that was approved by the Estonian regulator, the FSA, that was operating in a finance cloud.
Julian, can you tell us more about your successes during the last 2 years?
Sure. And there have been lots of success and lots of growth because we now have an infrastructure and a platform that's scalable and that's secure. We've been able to conceive, develop and launch a diverse range of new programs with our white label partners, and we've also been able to design and launch Wallester Business, the expense management solution. In terms of numbers, what that's meant is that we've been able to grow our revenue by a multiple of 2. We've been able to grow our transactions by a multiple of 3, and you can only cope with a higher volume of transactions if you have a system that's scalable. And we've been able to importantly grow our customer base by a multiple of 4. And that growth has enabled us to invest more in our business, so much so that we've increased the size of our headcount by 67% in the last 12 months. And we've been able to launch in 2 new countries, so France last year and the UK this year, which gives us a wider footprint, more access to our clients, more ability to grow our business. We've had many individual successes with well-known partners. 2 that we're particularly proud of was a partnership with one of the world's largest virtual asset service providers, a company called KuCoin. The integration with KuCoin was particularly innovative and complex from a technical perspective. And then secondly, we launched a white label program with Latvian Post. It was the first partnership we had with a government authority. And what we really were proud about there is that government entities will only deal with companies that we trust. And we feel that the fact that they were willing to work with us was a real validation of the trust that they have in our organization, but also in our technology.
What's next for Wallester?
More success, more growth, hopefully. You said that you like the analogy with Amazon, so I hope at some stage there's an analogy on success with Wallester. We have a way to go in terms of growth yet. Really, we intend to carry on doing what we do, to keep a very clear focus on what we do, but also on what we don't do. To continue to have a very much product-driven organization, to continue to innovate, and to simplify problems for our customers so that we deliver things that our customers need, that the market needs, that are genuinely valued, and that importantly increase the operational efficiency of our partners and of our customers. Personally, because I'm CEO of Wallester UK, I'm very focused in the next year on building the UK organisation, where we want to recruit a very high quality team of payment experts and secure a direct licence with the UK Financial Conduct Authority. So we have that in addition to our licence with the Estonian FSA. So in summary, we want to continue with our mission of providing the best products with the best features at the lowest possible cost. In some way, when we look at the future, we try not to think about where we want to get to and how we want to get there, and instead think about how far can we go. Let's see.
Julian, thank you so much for your time and for sharing the Wallester story.
Thank you, Gigi. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to have AWS as a partner.
To the viewers, if you want to learn more from a technical perspective, we invite you to watch the technical episode with Mohammed and Andrei. Thank you.